Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Y'all, today we are going to make the cutest stationery folio. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you decided to stop by, and welcome to all of my new subscribers, and thank you so much to everyone who is supporting me in so many positive ways. Subscribing to my channel is just one of the important and positive ways that you can help to support my channel and to help me continue to bring awesome content to each and every one of you. And if you are not a subscriber to my channel, I hope that by the end of this video, you will recognize the awesome quality content that you just watched. And I hope that that means I will earn your subscription to my channel. But even if it doesn't, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. For those of you who are supporting me by buying me a coffee, being a member of my monthly members group, leaving positive comments, watching my videos to the end, thank you so very much. All of that helps my channel to grow. Y'all, this is what we're making today. It is going to be one of the most beautiful folio stationery sets I personally have ever made. And when you're finished, you're going to have something that is more than presentable as a gift or to sell at your craft fair. I'll give you a closer look in just a minute. Y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, y'all. So here is a very close-up look at today's awesome project. When finished, our folio is going to be 7 inches long, 6 inches wide, 1 inch deep. And then we open it booklet style, and y'all look at how beautiful this is. On this side, we have some 4x6 writing paper. Then we have an accordion pocket here that holds our cards. You can also place stamps on the inside if you like. And then here at the back, behind the folder, we have a pocket for our envelopes. So easy to make. This is a 4-card, 4-envelope Notepad stationery set. It is absolutely beautiful. I am going to show you guys what we need to make it, and then we're going to make it, and you'll see just how simple it is. So we're going to take our cards, put them back in the expandable pocket here. Then we'll take our envelopes, and they go behind that pocket. So we have some nooks and crannies here. So you'll see that you're able to get a complete set in this one package. Now, I didn't add a pin loop to this one, but I will have a video linked in the description box that will show you how to add a pin loop if you want to add a pin to yours. So here is what we're going to need to make this. I have my 4x6 notepad. Then I have my little ephemera pack that I'll just put over here. And this is my actual stationery pack. So when you're cutting down your pieces, you're going to have a leftover piece that is 4x3. Save it because we'll be using it on this project. Then I have my pad that I have actually separated. I haven't taken the pages off the pad. We're going to leave them on the pad. And I have 30 of these. And again, this is what I use to get that 30. So they're 4x6 inches. Then I have 4 mats that I'll be putting down on the card. And these measure 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have 4 pieces of 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 white cardstock that we'll use to make the card bases. Then I have my chipboard. This is a chipboard project, and I'm using medium weight chipboard. But if you don't have chipboard, guys, you can improvise and use whatever it is you have that's going to give you a sturdier base on your folio. So I have a piece that measures 1 by 7. And I have 2 pieces that measure 6 by 7. So if you're looking for information on the chipboard that I use, please check the description box because that is where I have a link to my Amazon storefront. All you have to do is click on that item and you'll be able to research it to see if it's something in which you might be interested in purchasing. So then I have pieces for the inside liner. I have 1 piece that measures 2 by 6 3/4, and I have 1 piece that measures 12 by 6 3/4. This is the paper that I'll be using for my envelopes. I have 4 pieces of this, and it's just lightweight scrapbook paper, really the consistency of printer paper. I have 4 pieces that measure 7 3/4 by 12, And then I have this beautiful Prima paper that I will be using for the outside jacket. And this piece here measures 12 by 9. And then I have a piece that measures 4 by 9. And then I have another piece of that same decorative cardstock, and we're going to be using that to make that accordion folder that's on the inside of our folio. So here's what we need to do. So we're going to go ahead and do the folio jacket first. We need to join our pieces that measure 4 by 9 and 12 by 9. We need to join those together. And I'm going to do that using a 1/2 inch tape strip. So I am going to take that 1/2 inch tape. You can do this part with glue if you like. I would not use a snail tape runner because you want this to have a very long stick on it, and sometimes the snail tape runners will break down on us. So now that we have our tape on that piece, we're going to go ahead and remove it. I am going to put this piece down on top of it, trying to get it lined up so that it's nice and even on that tape. Then I'm going to use my big old spatula and just get that smooth. So now we're going to place down our chipboard pieces, and we'll place them down just like this. I have already added tape to the back of my chipboard pieces. So I am just going to take this piece and I'll put down my spine first. And then we'll peel the tape from the back. Guys, if you're interested in some of the products that I'm using in this video, such as the chipboard, the tape, the glue, my scoreboard, please make sure that you're checking that description box, because there is an Amazon storefront link there, and that is where you will find that information. So I am going to take this piece and place it down, and when I place it down, I'm placing it down, giving myself about 1/8 of an inch in spacing. So now I'm going to flip this over, and just to make sure I have a nice stick on my beautiful paper. Then I'll take my stylus and I'm going to press it against the chipboard, and I'm just going to drive it around, and I'm going to pay particular attention to where I overlap the paper. This will help to minimize cracking in your paper. It won't necessarily stop it, but it might help to minimize it. So I'm going all the way around. Again, when I get to the area where I did that joining of the paper, I am just making sure that I go over that several times. And then I'll also do it here on the inside where the spine is. And now I'll stand it up and get it ready to be folded. So now that I have it like this, I am going to go ahead and miter. And by mitering, I am just going to cut in and cut out at an angle. So here and here, here and here, same here, same here. So what you want is to be able to fold this over and have that nice professional closure. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce this just a little bit because I don't need it to be as wide as it is. So I'm just trimming off a little bit of my fold over flaps. So then I'll take my tape. We're going to place tape along the edges. Use my big old spatula to make sure I have my tape nice and stuck. Then I'll use my tape runner to add some tape to my paper. And this is just giving me an extra layer of sticky. You don't necessarily have to do that if you don't want to, but that is what I do when I'm making a folio like this. And the reason why I do it is because I need to make sure that I have sticky on the ends, because when I fold over the two shorter pieces, and I like to fold those first, then I'm covering up some of that tape, but by using my tape runner, I make sure that I have tape coverage on the whole thing. So I'm going to stand this up. I'm going to go and I'll lay it down right there. And then I'll do the same thing here. We're just going to get this nice and stuck. I'm going to use my big old spatula to help that stick. I did have just a little bit of cracking there. I'm going to bring in my glue, take my glue and fill in. Then I'll take this piece and I'm just going to place it down. To stop the cracking. And then one thing that I like to do, if I have some cracking on a paper that, especially when it has the gold throughout, I'll just take my gold ink pad, and it's just a cheapo ink pad that I got from, I think it was Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going around it in gold. It's only going to add to the beauty of my project, and it helps to cover up some of those mistakes we might get from time to time when our paper cracks. So I'm just going along and I'm basically giving this a gold edge. And so there you can see that the cracking that took place is not a problem on this project. And then you can also see how beautiful the gold edging on this actually looks. So now we have our project like this. I am going to take my tape and I'm going to place it down, covering the chipboard. That is my goal. And then I'll use my big old spatula to go over that and get a nice stick. So now I'm going to bring in my liner pieces, and my liner pieces measure 6 3/4 by 12 and then 2 by 6 3/4. And we'll place it down just like this. But in order to get it stuck, I need to place some tape along the edges of both pieces. I'm going to go ahead and place tape along the edges, and then I'll be right back. All right, so I have placed my tape all along the back, and I also covered the smaller piece completely in tape. So we are going to go ahead and peel away our tape backer from all of these pieces. So I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to place it down like so. And you're able to see where when I was placing this, I actually lost control of my placement. And normally I stand when I'm placing these. I didn't in this case. And I completely lost control of my field of view for placement. So standing is a good idea, but I am not going to undo this. I am not going to toss the project. We are going to muddle through so that you guys can see in real time how I actually handle little situations like this. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm actually going to put it where it should have been. So yeah, that looks awful, but it's going to be fixed in just a minute. So I am going to get this nice and stuck. Then I'm going to go in and make sure I'm defining my spine. And what you're looking for is you're looking to see if you have any paper puckering. And I don't, so we're good to go on with this project. So I'm going to bring in that piece that measures 11 3/4 by 12. This is the piece that we'll be using to make that folder. So on the 11 3/4 inch side, I am going to score at 1/2 inch all the way across until I get to 2 1/2. And then I'll rotate it to the opposite side, and we're going to score in 1/2 inch increments all the way across, and the last score that we make will be at 2 1/2. So on both sides we scored at 1/2 inch increments all the way across until we got to 2 1/2. So then we'll place it back in the scoreboard on the 12 inch side, and we're going to score at 5 and at 10 1/8. So now we're going to fold and burnish the scores that we made at 5 and at 10 1/8. Then we're going to fold and burnish the score that we made at 2 1/2 on both sides. So we're going to turn it and go to that first score mark, and I am just going to angle in on this first score. We'll do the same thing on this side. So just angle in, and you're still going to have all of those ridges from where you made the 1/2 inch scores. So then I'll angle here like that. We'll do the same thing over here. We'll angle. Your piece now looks like this. Then we're going to angle here like that. And we'll angle in here. And then we'll angle in here. And we will angle here. So this is what your piece should look like. So now I'm going to take my finger blade and I'm going to go in and just trim on one of my score marks. Where you trim is completely up to you, but what I'm doing is I'm going in one score mark, 2 score marks, and then I'm trimming out on the 3rd score mark. Like that. So here is our piece. I am going to take my glue, place glue on these flaps. Fold in and stick these down. Then I'm going to take these flaps and I'm going to fold in, fold out, fold in, fold out. Let's fold in, fold out, fold in, and fold out. Then I'll use my big old spatula to just get that nice and crisp. And I'm just going to take my glue, and we're going to place our glue on these pieces only. Then all we need to do is fold it up and lay it down. Then I'm just going to make sure that I have it nice and even. And all by itself, this is a very beautiful little envelope that we've made. So now here's how I'm going to fix that ugly. So on the last one, I put my envelope on this side. This time I'm going to put it on this side because we need to fix what didn't go right. So I am going to take this and put it down on this side. So to do that, I am going to take my glue. Let's just close it. I will take my glue, run a thin bead up one side, the other side, and then along the bottom. And now I'll take it and I'm going to place it down right there. So now the eye is drawn away from where everything didn't quite go the way that I planned. So I am going to take my clips and place a clip here and a clip here so that that can get nice and dry and stuck. And then I'm just going to go along that base so you guys can see that sometimes we're going to make mistakes, or as Bob Ross would call them, happy accidents. And when you are making something that doesn't quite go as you planned, don't let it stress you. Don't let it cause you to throw it out. See if there's a way that you can salvage it. And I am very okay with how I was able to salvage this one. While this is drying, we're going to go ahead and take that piece that measured 3 by 4, and we're going to take our trimmed down notepad. This again is just one of these pre-cut pads. I didn't do any cutting myself. And we're going to go ahead and punch our holes. So I am going to take this and just fold it over, wrap it around, get that nice and stuck. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of glue to the back because I don't want it moving. And so I'll put that down again like that. Let's go ahead and get that stuck on the back. And so you can actually take this if you want, and you can place it down just like this. You don't have to punch holes. You don't have to add the screws the way that I'm going to do. You can place yours down just like this. Now, if you place it down like this, I would make sure that I put something on top just to hold that down, and maybe a chipboard sticker would be all you would need right here to hold it down. But I like the look of the metal snaps here, so I am going to use those. So I am going to see if I can get my little crocodile here to actually punch for me. So I am going to put this in, and let's see if we can get a punch. And there's one. And what I like about this crocodile, just like the bigger one, the big bite, you can actually set how deep it is you want to go in by turning the screw. So I know that my placement going down is going to be the same. So I'm just going to punch. And there I have my 2 holes. And again, guys, like I said, if you don't have a hole punch, you don't have to have these holes in yours for yours to look cute. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to place it where I want it. Grab one of my clips. Now I need to just go in and make a mark. And so now I'll take my crocodile again. I am just going to line it up over that hole and punch. And I'll do the same thing with this one. So where I made my mark, I'm just going to try to center that mark and punch. So now I can take my notepad and we should be able to line it up with our holes, and we can. And so to hold mine down, I'll be using the longest snaps in my pack. And I'm just going to put it through here and put it through there. Then I'll take the snap head, put it on the back, and I'll do the same thing over here. And remember to check the description box if you're interested in anything that you see me using. I don't have links for everything, but for these snaps, I do. So now I have it like that. I am going to set these in a way that works for me. This might not be ideal for you, but it works for me. If you have another way that you want to do it, by all means do it that way. But this is the way that has worked for me. This is the way that I'm satisfied with doing it. So I'm going to take my chunky little hammer, make some noise by pounding this into place. And now they're set. And what I like about this is I like the hammered look that I get. Some of you don't, but for me, that's just my personal preference. So if you have another way that you want to set yours, by all means, use the way that works best for you on a project like this one. And so now I'm going to take my Velcro dot. We're going to go ahead and put our Velcro dot down so that we can close this. Fold that over. And already that is so stinking cute. Now I'm going to take out my little embellishment pieces because these are the embellishments that I will be using on this project. I think on this one, I am going to take the one that says Home Sweet Home, and we're going to use that. So I am just going to take this. We're going to place it right there. So then at the bottom, I thought I would take Beautiful, and we're going to place that right here. I'm offsetting it just a little bit because I'm also going to take this little butterfly. I'm going to lift my pad just a little, and we're going to place our butterfly right there. Super simple, super sweet. So now we can close this because we need to make our cards. And y'all, this is going to be some of the simplest card making on the planet. I have my 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece on the 8.5 inch side. I am going to score all of my cards at 4 1/4. And this is heavyweight cardstock that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. And then I'm just going to fold on that crease. And so now we have our 4 card bases. We are going to take these 4 pieces that we cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to place them down. I am just going to place mine down using my snail tape runner. So there's 1. And 4. And then I'm going to go over these with my big old spatula to make sure I have a nice stick on them. And then here comes the easy part. I am just going to lay down some pieces of ephemera to create a little message on the top of each, and that is how we are going to decorate our cards. So I am placing my glue on this piece of ephemera. I'll take that. I'm going to place it down and get it stuck. Take this one, add my glue, place it down, and get it stuck. And I love the messages on these cards. The one that I just put down says, "Your worth is not measured by your productivity." And that is so, so true. And then we'll take this one, put it down, and get it nice and stuck. And we'll take our last one, and place it down. And so there we have 4 very quick cards. Those of you who have been with me for a while used to know that I would always say that I'm not a card maker because I never considered my cards when I did the simple style like this to be card making, because I was so hung up on all of the elements that other people would put on their cards when they made cards, and all of the beautiful dies and then the layering and all of that. So I didn't consider myself a card maker until you guys corrected me and told me that even though it's simple, it still is beautiful card making. So I'm sharing this with you to let you know that even I have fallen into the trap from time to time of comparing myself to someone else and saying what I've done isn't good enough because it's not stacked high with embellishments, or it doesn't have these die cuts. I'm not doing the blending and all of that other stuff that others do so well. What I learned to love and embrace is that my simple style of card making is my simple style. So it works for me. So I'm saying all of this to say, don't compare yourself to others. Go with what works for you. So I have my 4 simple cards, and we're going to take those 4 simple cards and we're going to put them in my nice little pocket here. Now we're going to make an envelope, and even though this set will have 4 in it, I'm only going to make 1 with you because the process is the same for all 4. So I'm bringing in my scoreboard, and on the 7 3/4 inch side, we're going to score at 1, rotate to the opposite 7 3/4 inch side, and score at 1. Then on the 12 inch side, we're going to score at 4 and at 4 3/8. And so now we're just going to fold and burnish all of our scores. And then we're going to go to the first score mark at the bottom, and we angle in as we're cutting. And then we're going to angle in here. We'll do the same thing over here. In fact, we're going to do the same thing all around this envelope. So wherever we have that intersecting point, we are just going to angle on both sides. And now we fold that in. We're going to fold that up, and then we fold that flap over. But I am going to just round my flap, and I'll round this flap. So now I'm going to take some glue, place some glue right there, and then I'll place some glue on this end and on that end. Fold up, get that nice and stuck. Take some tape, run just a little bit of tape there. And now we have a beautiful envelope that we can put in this back pocket. And so as I said with mine, I'll have 4 envelopes and 4 cards. And then here on the front, I'm not sure if I want to put anything on the front because the paper is just so beautiful. Give me a second to think about that and I'll be right back. All right, after looking, I've decided that I am going to let the beauty of this paper be the embellishment because I really don't want to put anything on here. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I do have the 2 hammered metals here at the top for this piece here. I'm okay with that because it just blends right in and it's actually pretty cute in person. So I am going to open this so that you can see just how gorgeous this is. These are the things that we are able to make. You might be thinking right now that no, I can't, but with practice, 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 yes, you can. So I have brought that first one back in so that y'all can see just how gorgeous these are. On this one, I have my pocket on the left. On this one, I have the pocket on the right because I put it on the right so that we could hide an oopsie. But no matter where that pocket is, These are absolutely gorgeous, and I think that you guys are going to have so much fun making them. So I hope that you have enjoyed this awesome Stationery Folio video. If you have, please hit the like button. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, hope I earned your subscription today. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.